The phone rang at 2:07 on a Tuesday, a number Amelia didn't recognize from the elementary school's main office.
Miss Reeves, it's Principal Carroll. I am calling about some unusual activity with your son's records. Someone has been attending meetings as you.
What? That's impossible. I haven't been to the school in 3 months. Who? Are you sure? It's my name.
We have sign-in sheets. Your signature, for 2 months. And yesterday she requested Lucas's full educational records by mail to an address that matches a non-contact party from the custody file.
A non-contact party. Oh God. That's my mother. She has a court order to stay away. She's been inside my son's school?
That's why I called you directly. I need to know if you authorized any of this, because if not, we have a serious security breach.
Number? No, I did not. I am coming down there right now. Don't let anyone near my son's file.
She was out the door in seconds. The drive to Oakwood Elementary felt like a tunnel collapsing inward.
2 months. She's been pretending to be me for 2 months, and nobody stopped her. How is that possible?
When she arrived, the school's front office was quiet. A stack of sign-in sheets waited on the counter, each one bearing her own forged signature. Amelia's hand trembled. The looped cursive was unmistakable, her mother's handwriting.
That's her. The loops match the signature on the expired license she must have used to impersonate me.
We compared it. It doesn't match your emergency card. Whoever this is signed in for 2 months.
My mother, Deborah. She's a non-contact party in our custody order. She cannot be anywhere near Lucas.
The courtroom memory flooded back. The gavel, her mother's cold stare, the judge's blunt warning.
She tried to win custody by fabricating neglect. The court ruled she was dangerous.
I need a copy of that order, and you need to call your lawyer. This is a criminal violation.
Amelia opened the court document on her phone, the digital seal sharp and official, and handed it over.
I am done. Every forged signature is evidence. She won't touch my son again.
She left the school with a folder of copies, her phone ringing her attorney as she walked to the car. In the car, Amelia answered her attorney's call. The folder of forged records sat in the passenger seat.
She used an old license and said she changed her name. The school didn't verify against the court order.
Get me the security footage and any written explanation from the principal. We'll need it all.
Carol, how did she get past the front desk? You told me she claimed a name change. What else?
She was convincing. She knew your son's teacher's name. We didn't cross-reference until yesterday.
A memory surfaced, the last parent-teacher conference. Deborah sat in her place, nodding as the teacher spoke, while Lucas stared at the floor.
Why is Grandma saying she's my mom? Mom would be so mad.
She sat there for 2 months, and he didn't say a word because he was too scared.
She pulled into her driveway and sat in the dark, her knuckles white on the steering wheel.
No more. Tomorrow, I call the police.
The next morning, Amelia stood at the police station counter, the evidence folder clutched against her chest.
My mother has been impersonating me at my son's school. I have a court order, sign-in sheets, everything.
Ma'am, this sounds like a violation of a civil order. We can take a report, but for contempt, you need family court.
Civil matter? She's stalking my child. How is this not a crime?
She left with a report number and called her lawyer from the parking lot.
I'll file an emergency motion for contempt this afternoon. But based on what you've said, the judge may not jail her immediately.
She's dangerous. Look at the evidence. She's been inside my son's classroom.
Across town, Deborah sat in her cluttered living room, sipping tea. She believed the school would never check.
They see a concerned grandmother, not a threat. My daughter overreacts, as always.
By noon, the emergency motion was filed. Amelia stared at her phone, waiting, the weight of doubt pressing down. That evening, Amelia found Lucas coloring at the kitchen table, his crayons pressed harder than usual.
Hey, buddy, how was school today? Anyone? Unusual visit your class?
Grandma said it was a secret game, that I shouldn't tell you or she'd get in trouble.
A game. She turned my son's safety into a game. Lucas, you did nothing wrong. Grandma broke a very important rule, and you are safe. I am not going anywhere.
Why does she want to be you, Mom? Is she mad at you?
Sometimes grown-ups make bad choices, but I will always protect you, no matter what. Always.
They held each other in the quiet of the tiny bedroom, the nightlight casting long shadows.
Mom looks sad, but she promised. She never breaks promises.
Amelia closed the door gently, then pressed her forehead against the hallway wall, her hands shaking. The next morning, Amelia's phone buzzed. Her lawyer confirmed an emergency hearing for the following Wednesday.
The judge will see the violation, but expect denial. We'll push for a 6-month extension and school exclusion.
I've pulled the security footage. It shows her face at the sign-in desk, clear as day. I am so sorry, Amelia.
The grainy footage showed Deborah signing in with Amelia's name, her face angled away from the camera, but unmistakable.
I am adding a photo ID flag to Lucas's file and retraining front desk staff on custody orders. This won't happen again.
That afternoon, the school office phone rang. On the other end, Deborah's voice, sharp with impatience.
This is Amelia Reeves. I requested my son's records. Have they been mailed yet?
Ma'am, we know you are not Amelia Reeves. The police have been contacted. Do not call again.
You can't keep a grandmother from her grandson. I have rights.
She won't stop. The hearing has to be enough.
Amelia spent the weekend cross-referencing security timestamps with the sign-in log, building a precise timeline.
Wait, there. She came on a Tuesday and a Friday at pickup time. The log says she was denied twice.
In the school's digital records, 2 pickup attempts had been flagged. Unauthorized person, not on approved list.
She wasn't just attending meetings. She tried to take my child.
She printed each screen grab, highlighted every log entry, and placed them in a legal binder, sections numbered. By midnight, she emailed the compiled evidence to her lawyer, subject line, additional proof of stalking, and attempted custodial interference.
This is damning. The pickup attempts show intent, not just confusion. The judge will see a pattern.
Will it be enough to keep her away from the school permanently?
I can't promise, but it's the strongest contempt filing I've seen in years. Just be ready for her to deny everything.
That Wednesday, Amelia woke early and circled the date on the kitchen calendar in red marker. 9 a.m., family court. Her hand barely shook. The night before the hearing, Amelia rehearsed her testimony alone in her bedroom, voice steady but hands trembling.
She has a court order. She used my identity. She attempted to remove my child from school grounds.
When she finally slept, she dreamed of the custody hearing, her mother's smirk, the gavel cracking like thunder. Across town, Deborah sat before her vanity, practicing a trembling lip for the judge.
I am not a threat. I love that boy. My daughter is keeping him from his own grandmother.
Amelia slipped into Lucas's room and lay beside him in the narrow bed, wrapping an arm over his small chest.
Is tomorrow going to be bad, Mom?
It might be hard, but by the end of the day, she won't be able to hurt us anymore.
She didn't sleep after that. She sat in the dark, the binder of evidence open, under a single lamp. By morning, the school bus arrived, its yellow a stark contrast to the dread knotting her stomach as she dressed for court. The family courtroom felt vacuum-sealed, oak benches gleaming. Amelia's binder sat on the table like a grenade.
Your Honor, the defendant impersonated my client at 7 school visits. She attempted pickup twice.
I haven't slept in weeks, worrying she'd take my son. She turned his school into a trap.
This is a misunderstanding. I was just a concerned grandmother. My daughter refuses to cooperate.
Deborah's voice quavered at the right moments, but her eyes stayed hard.
A concerned grandmother doesn't forge signatures.
I see a pattern here that troubles me. The pickup attempts are especially concerning, but I need to review all evidence fully. I'll take this under advisement.
The gavel tapped once. The courtroom emptied, but the air remained thick with unspoken words. Amelia stared at the closed courtroom door. The judge's unreadable face was the only image she could summon. The judge's clerk called them back the following morning. The courtroom was silent, except for the shuffle of papers.
I find the respondent in contempt. The no-contact order is extended by 6 months, including 500 yards from any school the child attends. However, given her age and lack of prior criminal contempt, I am withholding jail time, but another violation will bring incarceration.
6 months. I've waited longer for less.
No jail. She's going to walk out and start planning again.
Deborah adjusted her purse as she passed Amelia's table, the faint outline of a smile on her lips. The click of her heels on the marble echoed as the courtroom door swung shut behind her.
This isn't over. She'll wait. And then she'll try again. I need something stronger.
We did what we could. If she violates again, it's jail. For now, consider extra precautions.
Then I'll change his name. Make it impossible for her to pretend.
That evening, Amelia's phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "You think a piece of paper stops me? I'll see my grandson whenever I want."
She's not even hiding anymore. She wants me to know it's her.
Amelia called her lawyer immediately, reading the texts aloud.
That's direct evidence of intent. Keep the phone records. Now, about the name change. With sole custody, you can petition the court.
Then I want to start today. She impersonated me once. She won't do it again with a new surname she doesn't know.
By noon the next day, she had the petition for a minor name change, legal references typed, and a notary appointment scheduled.
I am here to file a petition for a minor name change. Sole custody, court order attached.
The clerk stamped the paperwork. The new name would be Lucas Graham, her grandmother's maiden name.
Now let her try to impersonate Amelia Reeves. That name won't exist in that school anymore.
The next morning, Amelia walked into Oakwood Elementary with the signed name change order folded in her coat pocket.
Principal Carroll, here is the order. Lucas Reeves is now Lucas Graham. Please update his records immediately.
I am entering it now, and I am adding a photo ID flag. No one gets access without matching government ID.
On the monitor, a red alert banner appeared beside Lucas's profile, his new name highlighted in bold.
I should have caught this the first time. I am sorry, Amelia. The school let you down.
I appreciate that, but let's focus on making sure it never happens again.
That evening, at home, Amelia wrote Lucas Graham on a fresh backpack tag and secured it with a zip tie.
Now she'll walk in saying Reeves, and they'll know instantly she's lying.
She hung the backpack by the door, a small token of control in a fight that still felt unfinished.
It's not over, but at least the school is on my side now.
2 weeks later, Deborah Reeves walked through the main entrance of Oakwood Elementary, her stride confident.
I am Amelia Reeves. I am here to pick up my son, Lucas Reeves. I assume you still have me on the approved list.
The receptionist typed the name. The screen flashed a red photo ID alert. Lucas Graham, no parent match for Amelia Reeves. Beneath the counter, the receptionist's trembling finger pressed the silent panic button and dialed 911.
Amelia, your mother is here. She's demanding to pick up Lucas. We've triggered the alert and called the police.
I am on my way. Keep her there. Do not let her near my son.
This is absurd. I've been here a dozen times. Where is the principal? I will not be treated like a criminal.
Amelia's tires squealed as she turned onto the school street. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. A police cruiser turned onto Oakwood Avenue, lights spiraling in the afternoon sun. An officer radioed for backup. Amelia's car screeched into the parking lot behind the cruiser. Through the glass door, she saw the back of her mother's head. Officer Daniels pushed through the school's glass door and walked directly to the counter where Deborah stood.
Ma'am, you are in violation of a court order and trespassing. You are under arrest.
This is absurd. I am a grandmother, not a criminal. You have no right.
The officer turned her around, pulled her wrists behind her back, and snapped the handcuffs shut.
She's actually being arrested. It's really happening.
Amelia pressed her palm against the cool glass as her mother's face twisted from entitlement to rage.
Amelia, you did this. You've turned everyone against me. You are stealing my grandson.
The officer led Deborah out to the patrol car. Amelia stepped inside and found her voice for the statement she never wanted to give.
She's violated the order for months. I have the court order, the sign-in sheets, the name change. Everything is documented.
We'll book her on contempt and trespassing. She won't see a judge until morning. You did the right thing.
The next morning, Deborah stood in the same courtroom, now in an orange jumpsuit, her lawyer beside her.
Your Honor, the defendant has repeatedly shown disregard for court orders. She is a flight risk.
Amelia sat in the gallery, hands clasped, listening to each word of the argument.
Given the pattern of violations and the fresh charges, bail is denied. The defendant will remain in custody until trial.
You can't do this. I am a grandmother, not a criminal.
The gavel struck once. 2 officers led Deborah out, her protests fading down the marble corridor.
She's really staying in jail. It's not over, but for now, Lucas is safe.
We'll press for a speedy trial. With the evidence, conviction is likely.
And if she's convicted, she goes to prison. For how long?
Contempt carries up to 6 months, but with trespassing, it could be more, one step at a time.
After the bail hearing, Amelia installed motion sensor cameras at every entrance. A small red light blinked above the doorframe.
If she ever gets out, I'll know the second she steps on this property.
On Thursday, she sat in a therapist's office for the first time, her hands folded tightly in her lap.
I keep dreaming that I am back in that first custody hearing, and the judge takes my son away. Even with her in jail, I check the locks 3 times a night. I don't know how to stop being afraid.
The therapist asked what Amelia needed to feel safe. Amelia had no answer yet. That night, she dreamed of the courtroom again, but this time Lucas was on the stand, his voice small and trembling. She woke gasping. She forced herself out of bed and stood before the bathroom mirror, gripping the sink.
I have to be able to say this in court. I need to practice until the words don't shake.
She spent the next 2 hours rehearsing her testimony aloud, her voice strengthening with each repetition. The trial began 12 weeks later. Amelia sat rigid on the witness stand, her rehearsed words steady.
I haven't felt safe at my own son's school since I learned my mother was impersonating me. Even now, I check the locks 3 times a night.
Deborah's cross-examination faltered. Her practiced innocence dissolved under the prosecutor's pressure.
I only wanted to see my grandson. I didn't think it was harming anyone.
The court finds the defendant guilty of contempt and trespassing. You will serve 18 months probation, complete mandatory counseling, and obey the no-contact order without exception.
She's not going to prison, but she's been convicted. That's a real record now.
Any violation of probation sends her to prison. This gives you leverage.
Amelia exhaled for the first time in months. Her hands still shook, but her spine was straighter.
This isn't over.
No, it isn't. But I am not afraid of you anymore.
The week after the trial, a thick envelope arrived with the court seal. Inside was the permanent protective order. Deborah Reeves is permanently prohibited from contacting Lucas Graham or his mother. Violation will result in immediate arrest. Amelia framed the order and hung it in the hallway, a symbol that the law was finally on their side.
Amelia, would you speak at our district safety meeting? Parents need to hear what happened.
For 2 months, My mother sat in parent-teacher conferences using my name. I want every school in this district to adopt photo ID check-in.
The district unanimously approved mandatory ID scanning. New sign-in systems went live across every elementary school the following month. Lucas's teacher wrote, "He's raising his hand again. He laughs with his friends. He seems free."
He hasn't asked about her in weeks. That's how I know it's working. I am not the frightened woman who answered that phone call 3 months ago.
The principal called that day, but it was Amelia who finally had control. That night, the house was quiet. Lucas lay in bed, his nightlight casting a warm glow on his face.
Mom, is Grandma still pretending to be you?
No, sweetheart. She doesn't pretend anymore. She can't come near you ever again. The police made sure.
So she can't trick anyone else.
No more tricks. Your school knows your new name, Lucas Graham. Only the real me can pick you up. You are safe.
I was scared she'd come back, but I am not scared with you.
I was scared, too. But we're stronger together. I will never, ever let anyone hurt you.
Lucas climbed into her lap, and she wrapped him in the tightest hug she'd ever given.
This is the conversation I've been waiting for. He finally understands. We're going to be okay.
She stayed until his breathing slowed, then whispered good night and left the door open, just a crack. The next morning, sunlight flooded the kitchen. Amelia stood at the window, coffee cooling in her hands, watching the school across the street. Through the fence, she could see Lucas on the playground, chasing a soccer ball, his laugh carrying on the breeze.
3 months ago, I didn't know if I'd ever see him play without fear.
He tripped, rolled, and sprang up laughing, the resilience of a child who finally felt safe.
I used to think being a good mother meant just surviving. Now I know it means building a world where he can be this free. All those sleepless nights, the court dates, the name change, it was worth it for this one ordinary morning.
She allowed herself a deep breath, the first she'd taken since answering the principal's call.
Lucas, time to go in, buddy.
Mom, guess what? I scored 3 goals. Can we get ice cream after school?
Absolutely. Whatever you want.
Months later, Amelia pushed Lucas on the swings at Willow Park, the autumn leaves a kaleidoscope of orange and gold.
Higher, Mom. I want to touch the sky.
You are going to fly right out of that swing, buddy.
Her phone buzzed against the wooden bench where she'd left her jacket. A message from her lawyer flashed on the screen. Appeal denied. The conviction stands. She can't challenge the protective order again.
It's really over. No more courtrooms, no more fear.
Lucas jumped off the swing and sprinted over, leaves crunching under his sneakers.
Mom, you are smiling. What happened?
Nothing bad, sweetheart. Something good. Very good.
She pulled him onto the bench and held him, the sun warm on their faces, the last shadow finally gone. Back home, Amelia picked up the new framed photo from the mantel. She and Lucas, laughing, just last week. Lucas colored at the kitchen table, humming softly. He no longer drew dark, hard lines. The old photo showed her twisting a tissue in the background, a physical echo of fear. She placed the old photo beside the new one. The difference was a lifetime. She let out a slow breath. The house was quiet. The door was locked. The cameras blinked outside. Most importantly, Lucas had stopped asking about her. He was finally free. Amelia set the frame back on the mantel, then walked to the front door. Outside, Lucas raced down the sidewalk, the sunset painting his hair in gold. He turned and waited for her, hand outstretched. She took it without hesitation. The principal had called long ago. But in the end, a mother's love wrote the final chapter.